Hey y'all, it's Ryukin here. And well, I decided to record this vlog here again because in the previous video I had already talked about the PC that is over there. So in this vlog right here, I just got another thought that I'm gonna be making a video about how I draw these drawings right here. And this video right here is going to be kind of like a tutorial video about my art style. Of course, I just got another thought that I'm gonna be making this video right here. So here is my art style right here in a nutshell. So as you can see here, this is the full body of my mascot character. So he looks, but I'm gonna say right here, this mascot character right here, it has personality of its own, but all of them right here were extracted by the real person, which it is me. And you can see that even my champion hat, my jacket that I usually used to wear, my shirt that I'm wearing right now, this is the real one right here that I'm wearing right now. And as well as the shorts, which I'm also wearing it, but I didn't wear socks because the socks are kind of irritating my skin, so I just take it off. So that's going to be all of the C right now, Ricky. So in this blog right here, I'm going to teach you of how I make these drawings right here. And of course, I'm going to make a tutorial about this art style right here. So I'm going to show you all of how to draw this art style right here in a nutshell. And so with that, I'm going to jump right into the table to show you of how to do it properly, so in the form of an art tutorial. Without any further hesitation, let's get this drawing tutorial started. No fade actually, so I'm just going to fade in myself. Okay, so right now I'm down onto my table, and right now I'm going to show to y'all of how to draw my art style right here, so y'all can do. And so as you can see here, here's some examples that I've done so far for this art style right here. So as you can see here, this is the regular one right here that I usually want to do. So this is basically a low detail version of me. So as you can see here, this is basically a concept for my line sticker right here, so y'all can see here. And this one right here is full detail of, excuse me. So this is a full detail right here of my characters, as you can see here. And I don't think that's gonna work, so I'm gonna zoom in on that. So as you can see here, this is the full detail of my character right here, as well as, oh sorry. So ignore this, because this is basically some nonsense stuff that I've done, and including this, which I'm probably going to make it as a concept for my new channel look, as well as the new banner too. And here's some nonsense stuff right here that I've wrote. And this is my artwork for the novel, which I actually do it secretly right now, like many months now, since there's like some ghost fever going on last year. And this is basically me in a TV man suit, and this is me and my imaginary sister, and this is me and this whatever it is, and this is me hugging that camera back there. And first of all right here, this art style right here, it can do both ways. So what am I going to talk about here? So first of all right here, you can either start from the foot or the shoes and all the way to the top, or from the top to the bottom, which it really depends on what you're going to draw. Like for example right here, if I want to draw from the top, which is going to make a burst like this, which sometimes I would usually going to have, like, you know, start from the head and then the details and all of that stuff all the way to the down. But like after all here, these arts right here were like, you know, it has many techniques, you know. Well, so I'm going to show to y'all here how to do it here in a proper way. So we are going to see it soon. Alright, so we are going to get a paper right here, and I'm gonna stuck in the window. Alright, so I'm gonna prepare the paper here. You can do either a landscape or the portrait, depending on what the picture you're going to draw. So, and right now I'm going to set the brightness down because I think this is too bright for paper shooting. So I'm just gonna set the exposure to here, and you can literally see my hands right now. So you can see there's a shadow right there, and just ignore it. Alright, so the shadow is not the point, but the point is on the paper. So, and first of all right here, we are going to draw a ground, or you can just leave it empty there if you wanna, if you want a floating, like, in a dream, or falling down from the top places, you can just literally start from here anyways. So, but in this case right here, I'm gonna be using ground right here as, the foundation of the drawings that I'm going to do. So, and you can see here right now I have created a foundation right here, which is the ground, and right now I'm going to start from the bottom right here, which is my only classic way that I've been doing so far right now since I started this art style right here. So, and alright, so I'm just gonna move my microphone here, and alright, I'm just gonna start from the feet. And this is going to be kind of tricky here because, like, the most of the times when I draw these art style right here, I will going to listen to music like every time, because the music, it creates dopamine, which, it is something that it makes you happy and it makes you focus more on that work. So, but that's how music is actually comes to the rule when it comes to drawing this art style right here. And also music can inspire some ideas that it is in my mind when I was listening to music, which it actually helps, but without music, which is going to be a bit strange, because it's like in this environment right here, there's no music going around, so this is going to be strange a bit because the range of the idea is going to be not that much. But it really depends again. If I was happy too much, I would just going to draw like, whoa, too much. Alright, let's get to the point. So first of all right here, you can see that I create the shoe right here, and then I'm going to create a leg right here. And here is the leg right here, so I'm going to draw it here. So as you can see here, here is the leg of the character that I'm going to be drawing. And yep, here's what it looks like. And right now I'm going to draw another leg, which is basically the same thing, but in a different direction. Or I can just face it away and create another leg. Alright, so as you can see here, here's what it looks like right here. So you can see that we got both of the legs right here, and then we are going to create body or the torso right here. So, and right now I'm going to zoom in on that, which is going to be trippy when doing this. Or we can just extend some legs a little bit more, just to create an effect of how the character is actually tall or is it short. So it really depends on the character though that I'm going to be drawing. But in this case, I'm going to draw myself. Alright, so as you can see here, right now I create the base right here for the torso. And if you don't even show off how if the character is actually going to balance or what, so just use your finger right here on the legs first and then compare that to the torso. Like for example right here, you can see that it's going to be like this, and then compare to the torso, which is going to be, and this, in fact, this is too short, so it's not going to balance. So I'm gonna make it balance more in shape, and then it's almost good to go. And right now create the neck part. However, I started using necks like back in 2023, which I think the first evidence that I started using necks, it was like, it was like back in probably around late 2022 or 2023. I don't even sure about that though, of how I add necks like back then. Because before that, this art style right here doesn't have a neck. It's just like head and torso stuck into the body. So there's no neck back then. And which I don't remember the exact day of how I added necks to all of my characters, which it did actually applies. And guess what? It is still in all of my characters like what you see today. So as you can see here, and if you take a look at my profile picture, you can see my my character, it has a neck, which somehow I add necks because it is actually but back then my art style wasn't used to be like this, but it was like a head, it is literally connected to the torso of the body, and that's it. So but later I add neck because to add more realism to my art style, like a little bit, but it's not that much. So but it's still in my art style anyways. And alright, so I'm gonna be drawing the head right here. So this is the head, and this right here, it uses a lot of time to do this, because if there's like any mistakes, we'll have to use an eraser to undo all of that, like what you have been used to the Paint or the Photoshop or GIMP. And so right now I'm going to be adding my arm, My arm is going to be looking like this as well. And I'm gonna be drawing this part right here where I'm going to say, hi, something like that. Just to make even more cuteness. Ignore the dog's barking because the dog just having a trouble outside. Alright, so as you can see here, here's what it looks like so far. So as you can see here, here's what it looks like. And we got arms right here, both of the arms, the torso, legs, and foot, and the ground, and the head. Which, as you can see here, here's what it looks like right here when I create all of my characters right here, including myself. So, in this case right here, I'm gonna be drawing myself. And first of all right here, I'm gonna be removing this part right here where the torso and the arms are connected. And right now I'm gonna be creating a hand right here, which it really depends again if I was lazy or too diligent to draw a hand. So it really depends on the situation. But in this situation here, I will going to add a detailed hand, which sometimes I do, but sometimes I just don't. It really depends on the situation. If it was like, if it was too lazy to add arms, something like that, there will be like some exact moments where I was like start to bore adding arms or something like that. So, but in this case right here, I'm going to show to y'all this right here as the idea of your new art style. But this is basically for my sharing purposes. If y'all interested to use this art style right here, that's okay. So, and feel free to see y'all use this art style right here as your idea. Alright, my hand drawing skills wasn't so good. Alright, so as you can see here, we got a hand right here, and then we have the other hand, which is on the top right there. So in this case right here, I'm gonna be drawing some sort of like high five, which I'll have to take a look at my hand first and then draw it as a reference. Alright, so as you can see here, here's what it looks like for the high five, like this. And then I'm gonna be adding this right here. So if your character doesn't have gloves, that's okay. So you don't have to add that. And alright, so I'm gonna be adding more to the detail of my mascot character. Alright, so as you can see here, here's what it looks like right here by the overall. So we got a little bit of detail right here. And then I'm going to add some details right here on the back of the character, which is the hoodie. And here is the hoodie right here that I really love to draw. So as you can see here, it looks really simple. So it's basically just fill of the lines right here, and that's it. So that it creates an effect of the hoodie. And right now I'm gonna be drawing my jacket. If your character does have a different jacket or whatever, it really depends on what the jacket you're gonna be drawing. But in this case right here, I'm gonna be using my zip hoodie. Alright, so not gonna get anything done because this is basically just the first process of making this art style. Okay, so I add some few details right here. So as you can see here, we have a t-shirt that is still connected to the leg, and we got the overall jacket right here. And right now I'm gonna be adding more details to all of the stuff here. Alright, so as you can see here, here's how I draw my mascot character right here. And then there's missing detail. Ha! That's much better. And before we get into any process to get this to work, you have to check if sorry. So you have to check if there is anything wrong or anything like abnormal in your art style or in this art style here. You would just use your eraser and then reposition it. There, that's much better. Alright, so the top part or the torso part is done. And right now we are going to do the bottom part here, which is where the legs and the shoes are connected. So first of all right here, if your character has like a trousers or really long pants, you have to do the same thing as me, but except this is basically just like, just draw down onto the shoes like that. Or there is some cases if there's like, it's not that long, so just going to have it like this or anything like that. But in this case right here, I'm going to be drawing charts on this character. So right now I'm going to be drawing charts like this. And then add some little bit of detail there. And good to go. And and I'm going to add some cute little whatever it is here. Add some socks to the character like this, and then the shoes. See? And I'm going to do some details on the shoes right here. So, and right now I'm gonna be drawing this whatever it is, a shoe lashes, just like that, and the pattern. And it really depends on the pattern again, if your character has a different shoe pattern or different type of shoe. But there's some cases, if there's like your character wearing boots, you would just going to have it straight all the way up like this, like what I'm doing right now with the socks, but except this part right here is going to be all towards the top, and then you have to add some details and all of that stuff. So, and right now I'm going to be adding some details to the head, which is on the top part. Alright, so I added this this neck part right here, and then I'm going to draw a hair. Here's the hair right here, and here's the hat. And I'm just going to say that if your character doesn't wear a hat, you would just remove this process right here, and then you can get to the part where you just can draw something like this or like this. You just actually going to do it, so you can skip this process. So you're literally just going to use with you know, your character that it doesn't wear a hat, so you can just actually do what I'm seeing here. So here, just like that. But in this case right here, I'm going to be drawing myself, which it requires a hat. So, and right now I'm gonna be drawing my hat in a nutshell. And then add this part of the hat, just like this, and then this, and my iconic hat there. And then I'm going to draw some hairy lines here. Alright, so and before we get into the second part of the hair, so I'm gonna be drawing my eyes, nose, and mouth first, before I add a second hair or whatever it is. And there's like many positions that you can choose from. Like for example right here, if the character was facing the front, you can just use the nose like this. Or in case if your character was looking at the side or the left, you can just like this or like this. So again, it really depends on what I'm gonna be drawing here. And more on the side, I will be talking about in a later. And alright, so in this case right here, I'm gonna be placing this here. And then I'm gonna be drawing my mouth, just like that. And I'm going to make me happy like that. So this is more cartoonish. Alright, so I'm gonna be like this. And I'm going to draw my eyes like this. Eyebrows if required. Alright, so we're almost there. So as you can see here, here's all of the details that is required to draw on a black line like this. And then before we get into that, I'm going to be adding a second hair, which the second hair right here, it really depends on your character again, if your character has a second hair or it doesn't. So for my mouse card right here, I use the only one second hair that I've been using for so long now, which it is going to be looking like this. So for example right here, the eyes are here, and the hair is something like this. So this is the, you know, this is the imaginary expression of how I draw this character right here. So this is going to be an idea. Alright, so and for the other stuff right here, I'm going to get into a little bit of detail in that later. And we're going to focus on second hair right here. As for the second hair, here's what I'm going to draw. And there you go. Here's the full body of my character there. So as you can see here, here's what it looks like for the almost finished product. And there's more steps that I'm not going to be get into the deep detail that much, because this is going to extend the video a lot. And alright, so as you can see here, here's what it looks like right here of how I draw this art style right here. So and first of all right here, for what I'm talking about, the boots and the trousers or long pants, or if in case if your character was completely different from what I'm drawing here, so you can use this idea right here as, you know, your own art style, or you can just actually going on to the next level too, if you can do. And for some cases here, if your character has like the boots like this, you can actually have it like, you know, this power in here bring like extended out like this, and then can add the details much more like when you add shorts, but except it is right side up, so it's going to be looking like this. So as you can see here, here's the boots, for example, right here. And in case if your character wearing the long jeans, it's going to be looking like this, but it really depends on what your character was wearing again, so this may not be accurate. Alright, so as you can see here, here's what it looks like right here for the trousers on your character, so it's going to be looking like this in a nutshell. And if you're wondering, this part right here, it is where everything right here was actually put in together, which is this belt right here that it holds my mascot. So as you can see here, this is the belt. But in case if your character doesn't have a belt, or the belt was invisible in the shirt that it was actually usually want to wear, you just keep this part right here, or else it will be having something in common like this. So and here's the t-shirt, and then here's what it looks like right here. So this is going to give a vibe of a normal person look, but it's not like a, you know, looking good, having a belt all the time. So but you can actually do that, but although you have to be like, you have to be remove the part of the belt there, and then just added the casual shirt in there. So this is basically it. And well, and what about the eyes right here? So the eyes, it really depends on the character again, but in this case right here, I have eyebrows, so that's why I added eyebrows to this character. So there's like two dependencies on eye of each character, but each one right here has its own look. But for example right here, if your character it is really male, so you will have your eyes looking like this, or there is like ton of them that I made right here. So, and this is the classic one right here that I've been doing with a lot of my characters that I have, and there are some of them that it has like this shape of the eye here, which is like a vertical rectangular one. So as you can see here, there were like two main designs for the eyes, which it really depends on the character and on the gender of the character, so I can't really tell. For the ladies here, it's the same, but except there's eyebrows like this, and they have many shapes depending on the character design. It's quite identical to the males, but except there's like some eyebrows. So eyebrows are different depending on the character of what you're going to be drawing. And for the males that doesn't have eyebrows, which you can actually do it, but well, of course, it doesn't have eyebrows, so the males doesn't have eyebrows actually. But for my character right here, it's an exception, because, you know, in real life, I have eyebrows, so that's why I added eyebrows to my character, which is going to be a bit weird for this character right here to have eyebrows like that. So, and the last thing that you have to do is just outline it with a fine liner, like this one here that I'm using. So this is a Unipin fine line, and it's a water and fade proof. As you can see here, this is a 0.1 millimeter. Sorry. This is a 0.1 millimeter line there. As you can see here, it looks really tiny. Look at that. So this is how small this thing is. So you can't actually really see that, but it's going to be looking like that as well. As you can see here, here's the 0.1 fine liner there, and there is other stuff right here that I have. So I have the 0.31 and the 0.51, which is basically the same thing, but except it adds more of the thickness of the fine line. So as you can see here, this is a 0.31 compared to the 0.51. So it's going to be looking at that. And well, of course, it really depends on what art right here I'm gonna be using for this. But although if there is like some, you know, triple line arts for this, I'll have to use both three here. But lately I've been mostly using this one right here as the main fine liner for my art style. And there are some cases like if I want to get a fine line of the beard right there on my character, I'll have to use multiple layers of multiple thickness of fine liners to do that for the effect. So, and again, it really depends on what I'm gonna be drawing. So, and the music that I'm listening. So, and well, so and again, this is basically it for this block right here. So again, it really depends on what you're going to be drawing for your character, or for your friend, or for your family, or whatever, someone you trust. And well, so that's basically it for this video right here. So I just want to share y'all my art style right here and my tutorial. So, and this art style right here, if you found this really easy to do, you can tell me in the comments down below. I really appreciate that. So, and alright, so I think this is going to be basically it for this video right here, and right now it's been like half an hour now start recording this, and I'm not going to hesitate any space on my memory card, so I'm just gonna end it shortly like this. So at the last steps are just going to use the fine liner and then take a photo of the photo that have fine line and then put it to my laptop or your computer, and then you have to use some of the programs that you desire to use. Like for example, I use GIMP, or I use Paint to do, or I use Photoshop. Again, it really depends on what the picture you draw on. So, and well, so again, this is going to be completely basically it for this block right here, and of course this is basically my sharing of my art style right here, and also the tutorial. So, and of course it's really easy, and I would really appreciate if you found this art style right here was really easy to do. So, and well, so I think this is going to be basically it now for this video, and if you do like this art style like what I'm doing right now, so please leave me a like, comment. So I'm gonna do this. So comment what you think about this, and also the most important one, which it is to consider here, subscribe. Oh, come on. Just like that. Subscribe, and I do really appreciate y'all for all the support, and I will see you all there in next video, where I'm going to make more awesome quality content like this, and also some nonsense stuff like what I'm doing. Alright, so if you find this tutorial was really useful for you, can tell me in the comments down below. I really appreciate that. Alright, so I think this is going to be basically for this tutorial of how to draw this art style right here, and for the final step right here, you have to do it for yourself. Pick up your fine liner and it's good to go, and don't mess with the lines. Alright, alas, for now. And for any further tutorials about this art style right here are going to be made in a separate video about the separate topic. So if I have enough time to make this again. Alright, anyways, bye bye, สวัสดีครับ